what we can do, how we can make the most of our lives to actually cultivate for ourselves and also for society around us. And if you look at the world, the way the world is now, if you look at the history of the world, the way the world has been over the last few thousand years, it doesn't look very promising, does it? Pretty bad news if you look at the history of the world, right? All the problems we had, all the wars everywhere. And the history books are full of wars and violence and conflict and all of these kind of things. So it doesn't look very promising, but to really find out, and this is where I want to commend Dr. Lai on my right here for quoting the suttas. I was so happy that we're quoting the suttas, quoting the word of the Buddha, because this, I think, is something we should all do as Buddhists. We should quote the word of the Buddha. That is where we find the base wisdom upon which all Buddhist traditions are built. It's foundation for everyone here, whether you're Vajrayana, Mahayana, or Theravada, or even if you are the Mahayana. This is Ajahn Brahms, the famous kind of the Mahayana, right? So anyway, so what does the Buddha have to say about this? And one of the very interesting passages you find in the Pali Canon is a sutta called the Sakkapanya Sutta, the questions of Sakka. Do you know the sutta? Yes? Ah, excellent. Okay, I'm very glad to hear that. So we have one knowledgeable person over here already. So Sakkapanya Sutta is very fascinating because we have Lord Sakka. Lord Sakka is the king of the Tavatimsa heaven, or the Lord Deva of the Tavatimsa heaven. And he comes down to the Buddha. And he asks the Buddha a question. And I always thought this is a very perceptive and powerful question to ask. And the question he asks is, why is it human beings live in violence, they live in problems, they live in conflict, they live in war? Why is that? When everyone wants peace, when everyone wants harmony, when everyone wants to live together in kindness, why is it that we have war? And it's an incredibly good question, because you would think that if everyone wants peace, and if everyone wants to live in harmony, why can't we create a society that actually manifests that peace and harmony in this midst? Why have we failed so badly? And the Buddha, as always, gives a very profound answer. This is a very Buddhist kind of answer that the Buddha gives. The Buddha analyzes this question back stage by stage. He says, first of all, that one of the main reasons why we have war in the world is because, not straight away, he says desire and aversion. And desire and will is one of the main causes for these things. And then Sakka asks, what is the cause for that? And he goes back stage by stage by stage, backwards, finding the root cause, the most foundational cause for war, conflict, and problems in the world. And what is that root cause? Yeah, if we can find the root cause, we have solved the problem. So are you excited? It's exciting, right? Really exciting. What is the root cause? And the answer is, the root cause is the sense of self. That is basically the root cause. It's called papancha. The pandemia of papancha is basically arises out of the sense of self in human beings. And once you hear that answer, you understand that there is a very serious problem in the world there. There's a very serious problem because the sense of self cannot be uprooted across all of society. You cannot tell all the people in the world to get rid of the sense of self. The sense of self, from a Buddhist point of view, can only be uprooted in individuals. And for that reason, it is in individuals that we can find the solution, where we can find peace, but not in society at large. And that is very profound, it's very beautiful, it has some very interesting consequences. One of the consequences of that is, well, you can never actually find final peace in the world. There is no such thing. There is no such thing because you cannot uproot all the senses of self in the world. And that means that the search for utopias, which humanity is so well known for, is a foolish search. There is no utopian society in the world. There is no place where you find a final solution, a society that is stable and is able to always deliver peace, harmony in these things. Utopias is a mistake according to the Buddhist teachings. This is a very interesting and powerful result, because it means that so many of the experiments that have been done in human history, where millions of people have been sacrificed in the search for some kind of utopia, are completely misguided, and it's something that we should never pursue or never encourage as Buddhists. We know, for example, what happened in Cambodia under the Khmer Rouge. It was a terrible, disastrous thing that happened there. And that, in my understanding of history, is correct. Was largely in search of a foolish kind of utopia. So this is the first one. The second very powerful lesson from this is that the world is never really going to be satisfactory. The world is always going to throw up disharmony, conflict, war, violence, these kind of things. It's inherent to human existence. Why? Because the sense of self will always exist in human society. And what that does to us when we realize that, we start to turn away a little bit from the world and move us more instead towards the spiritual path. If the world is inherently problematic, if there is no final peaceful solution, and the spiritual path, where that peace can be found, that's the whole point, yes, becomes far more attractive as a consequence. There's a very interesting corollary to this, yeah, and that corollary is that if you find inner peace, as so many of my fellow speakers here have mentioned, that inner peace also drives peace in society. The two are very, very closely connected to each other. And how much more time have I got now? Just 1 minute? 2 minutes, okay, 2 minutes, okay, I'll speak quickly, okay, thank you. So 2 more minutes. So how does that work? Well, it works in some ways very, very simply. If you take the Buddhist path, take some of the very Buddhist ideas, take something like generosity, for example, how does generosity work? Well, when you are generous, your sense of self is going down. Because when you are generous, you're not selfish at that point. There's a selflessness in generosity. So by practicing generosity, you're helping to create peace in yourself, reducing the self in you, and thereby also helping to produce peace in society. Why? Because that is the movement of the mind towards peace through generosity. The same thing, of course, is true for morality and sila that we're talking so much about. And it is also true for meditation practice. The deeper you go in meditation, the more peaceful you are, the more powerful is your effect on society. Remember the Buddha. Why was the Buddha so powerful then? After his awakening, when the Buddha went out into the world to teach his teachings, when people saw the Buddha, what did they say? They said, wow. Actually, not quite wow, but you know what I mean. There's something like that. They said, whoa, what's happened to you? You are so serene. Your faculties are so pure and bright. What happened? This is a reflection of the peace of the Buddha coming out through the power of his faculties and these things. Yeah? You can tell when someone is a very powerful person. The same is true for everyone here. And based on that peace in the world, the Buddha established the Dhamma, he established the Buddhist as a religion in the world, and look at the enormous amount of good that has done for the world. One person practicing the Dhamma very, very profoundly can do so much for the world. Now we cannot be the Buddha, that is, well maybe you can, but it's very difficult to be the Buddha. At least we can be ordinary people who practice that path. And we will also reap some of those benefits for ourselves and for society as we do that, just as the Buddha did it. And this is what this path promises. When you become peaceful in your meditation, one of the things that you understand is that your inner peace depends on your outer conduct. Your inner peace depends on your outer conduct. The moment you become peaceful inside, you become kind in society. You become a compassionate person because the two things are very, very closely interlinked. So by practicing these things, generosity, morality, calm and samadhi in meditation, finally inside itself, every one of us has the opportunity to add peace to the world. And I'm saying this because I want to motivate you. I want you to understand that it makes a difference how you live your life. Don't take the Dhamma as a theoretical thing. Every little thing we do matters. Every act of kindness is important. Please carry on this path. You will have the best possible life for yourself and also for the rest of the world around us. Thank you.
Thank you, participants. This has been a very diverse session, starting with the Buddhist canons to basically disowning self. And it's a very pertinent question that whether we need self or we don't. Because the moment we call about karuna, we need self. That would only feel compassion to others. So it's a very whirlwind type of a question. We are opening the session to the question answers. But before that, let us talk about one saying from Venerable Dalai Lama, Pujya Dalai Lama ji. When someone asked him that what should I do for peace, he just gave 2 words and he said, breathe properly. It's a very layered word because the moment we are at war, our breath gets disturbed. So if we can control the breath, the music, the harmony, and that is what is peace. Peace is not absence of war. Peace is when everything is in harmony, when everything is set with the symphony, and that everything includes inner and outer everything. So with this, we open up the session for question and answers.
So, raise your hand. If you have any question, raise your hand. We are only around 11 minutes for question and answer. I see the hand. 2 hands, but in first and 3 hands now. Introduce your name. We go from question directly and short question.
My name is Damajoti, but I just want to make one small point, maybe not very important. And our venerable speaker has spoken on the importance of referring to Sutta. And I think that I fully agree. And also in that context, I want to refer to the previous speaker, I cannot see the name, who speaks of, who does refer to the Sutta and refers to the word passapi as inner peace, right? If I'm not mistaken. And that is the foundation for world peace. So I think that is a good example when we should put the sutta, we should go back to sutta and very seriously. Not something as theoretically what it means, how we can be inspired from the word. However, that also means that we have to, I think, clarify the intention, the meaning in those words in the sutta. Passapi, for instance, I don't think it's a word that you can use for inner peace. It's certainly some kind of peace. And the importance of passapi is according to the meditation process. One, meditation, the transformational process, it transforms, in brief, passapi, Daustuya to Shakti, that's the quote the Yogacara. That means passapi is the state of workability or piety. You come to a stage where your body is fit, your mind is fit to be transformed. And ultimately, the Daustuya, the grossness, the basic evilness, if you like, within us, comes to be transformed into serenity or passapi. I think that's the meaning of passapi, and probably it doesn't refer to the kind of inner peace that you're talking about. I may be mistaken, but this is my feeling.
So thank you for your comments, and you give so more meaning to each talk. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for choosing me. Dear Venerable ladies and gentlemen and esteemed audience, I have one question. I'm a person who really want a peaceful life like you, and we are human beings looking for a peaceful world. So sentient being, all of them belong to this world like us. So we pray and chanting etc. for our peaceful world. So should we ask us when we kill them for praise, chanting. So where the animal peaceful world is, can we bring the peaceful life for them by stopping harming, killing, and eating them? So in the original scripture, it is written that in the past, when Buddha went asking for alms, they offered meat to the Buddha. He said, because of my love and compassion, I would not put a piece of meat in my mouth. So I would like to ask you, why do monks eat so much meat today, even in... thank you.
If you are putting your question, who should answer?
Yes, thank you very much.
I think it's me, because I might be the only one who might eat. I'm the only monk who might eat meat, right? So that's kind of why I feel put on the spot here this way.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, so the answer to that question is that in the early sutras, in the Pali Canon, and also in the Agamas, which you find in Chinese, and you find them in Vietnamese translation, the Agamas, actually there is no direct prohibition against eating meat in those sutras. That seems to be a later layer of text. And so that is the reason why, and there are many instances in the sutras of the Buddha himself accepting meat. There are several instances of that. And so I would say that the reason why this thing happens in the world is because it has not actually been prohibited by the Buddha. However, I also think it is a very wonderful thing to be vegetarian, and I think I would always recommend people to be vegetarian if they feel inclined like that. Personally, I don't eat meat. I eat fish sometimes, and I'm trying to kind of cut out the fish as well, but at least I don't eat meat at the moment. So I think it's a beautiful thing, especially if you're coming from compassion and kindness, and I would recommend everyone to do that.
Now, some more questions from any audience. Yeah, lead the microphone to her.
Vandani Pranavasar, Srikata for all the speaker. And then, especially, I want to ask question to the Professor Chandasiri Tero, and also for the Dr. Brahmali about the war. As we know, in Buddha's story, there is the famous war conducted with Vidudara. Vidudara, the son of King Pasaneti. So at that time, even the Buddha himself failed to forbid the war. The war still happened. Even at that time, we also know Vidudara is very fond with the Buddha, very pleased with the Buddha. But at that time, even the war still happened. And then, if this is Sakyaditi, Father will say one of the method is with generosity, with donation. To reduce Sakyaditi, the possession of self is what by the generosity with donation. But sometimes because of the donation, the I rise. I make the donation. I build this building. I offer this one. So how also we overcome this I to appear? Thank you, Mother Vasara.
Yes, that is a good question. Good question. Thank you very much for your reaction. So I have mentioned the roots of war. In addition to that, because of the myself, because of the I. So that is why all the problems are arising. That is normal. In addition to that, I have mentioned that the bad thoughts and attitudes and all those things for the war. So first of all, we have to educate, we have to wind up, we have to stop, we have to control I, the concept of I. Then we can educate all those conflict better and everything. Okay, thank you.
For the answer, yeah, thank you very much. But I would like to add some small thing. Actually, you have two questions, not only one. The first question, the Buddha tried to invent the war 3 times. The son of the missionary but failed. That's the first question. And the second question, I think vegetarian food wet or non-wet. So even though the Buddha had the power, he know he failed. He failed, but he tried. Just out of love for the country, out of love for Sakya land, and that he make a good example for the later generation. He try to do, he sit on the border, he say he sit on the Sakya soil, not on other soil. He love the country, and 3 times he try to do his best. But even though he Buddha, he cannot stop the karma, accumulate karma of all people. No, the Buddha cannot rescue or cannot say how, even though Buddha not bigger than the accumulating karma. But he tried his best on our. And the second question, that Mahayana tradition, we know, so we now can go deep into that. When you satisfied with that,
question about the self-perception.
That's okay now. Okay, now you satisfied now. Okay. So thank you very much for the panel of the well-known speaker and your opinion, your topic, say good light on the general theme and with the Buddha wisdom and Buddha insight and very beneficial for our audience and for me also. Thank you very much for your participation and contribution. And also for our secretary, our volunteer, and our audience here together we make a very wonderful atmosphere today. We big hand for the success of the session.
Yeah, here are distinguished guests, and now we approach to the conclusion of session 3. On behalf of the organizing committee, we extend our deepest gratitude to all the chairperson and all the distinguished speakers, and to all so each of you participants, listeners, and spiritual companions on this journey. The whole day we are here and listen on the speaker. Thank you so much. Now we would like to invite all chairperson and speaker, please kindly come forward to receive the certificate. I have 2 announcements for 2 on international delegates. Yes, please, the Viet Travel Company have set out the counter to give you the refundable for flight ticket. Please come there, the Viet Travel counter, to receive the refundable and have dinner there. The food cost the same lunch place.
Anyone who lost the phone, please come here to claim the phone. Thank you.
Thank you.